Hi everybody, I join you today with new hair. I got a haircut over the weekend and I'm really happy with it. It's so short. It's so much shorter than what I've been used to for years and years now. Like, I have had a haircut even a little bit shorter than this, but it was back in high school. So yeah, I'm feeling some differences right now, but I love it. So light. My hair is naturally just very fine and straight, and I feel like when I do something with this length of hair, it actually like responds. It actually goes with it. You know what I mean? My mom is a former hairstylist and she's always cut my hair, and so she was down this past weekend, and I mean, I knew I needed a haircut. Like, just generally speaking, I needed a trim because my ends were so bad. And then we really started talking the night before, and I was like, you know, what I really want is the look that Carrie Underwood had, I think during the CMAs when she was singing with Sam Hunt, and you know, that look, that's kind of the look I really deep down want. And I've wanted this look on and off for a long time, but haven't taken the plunge, and for whatever reason, now it was just like, I had this feeling, let's go for it. I feel like I'm still totally getting used to styling it and knowing what to do with it, and like, you know, I give it a gentle turn under. I used a really big curling iron and just gave it like a gentle sort of, I'm not really sure what my daily routine will become, you know, with this hairdo, but it really doesn't require a lot, that's for sure. Like, I feel like I spent 2 minutes with this, but it's gonna be so fun to like maybe try some waves in it from time to time, pin a little bit of it back, do different things. But it was so funny, I went to gymnastics with Belle last night, and you know, I had this hair obviously, and I was like instinctively taking my hand around the back of my neck and pulling hair around my shoulder, like to get it out of the way. There's no hair there. It's all just right up here. But I kept like, you know, swooping around like there was something to pull around. We went for like a blunt cut for the overall, like longest part of this is blunt. And then it's layered up just a little bit from there. I would say like this much, maybe up to the bottom of my ear. My mom will probably correct me if I was wrong on that. And doing that, I mean, you can kind of see the ends when I pull them out, but my hair's so dark. Maybe you can't see them otherwise, but that just kind of shaped the look. It gives it the look of a lot of chunky thickness, you know, but don't judge me too hard on the styling. I really don't know what I'm doing that much with this short hair. But I mentioned I was wanting this kind of a look for quite some time. The thing that kept me from doing it, I think, was my knowledge of how easy it is to take my long hair and clip it up in a bun or a ponytail, and I do that a lot, and it's very easy. It's very no-brainer. I like the way my hair looks in buns and ponytails, and I knew that if I went short, that would be the thing that I gave up. But then I have to ask myself, if I'm liking it really only in buns and ponytails and not really getting that excited about my hair when it's just down and actually styled how it would normally be, if that's the way I'm feeling inside, maybe it is time to just go ahead and chop it off. But yay, haircut. Okay, moving on. I wanted to talk about a few little things in my concealer routine. Really was the key thing that I wanted to talk about in this video, but I end up showing you my foundation application as well. But just some products I've been playing with a lot lately and really liking the effects I've been getting. I feel like I have a couple of obstacles with my skin right now, not major things, but number one would be a little bit of dry skin, so I feel like these products are really good for that. And also, I've had really irritated, kind of itchy eyes lately. I think it might be an allergy related problem, but I'm always like touching this area or touching my eyes. And I feel like my concealer technique really takes care of me for both needs involving dryness and staying power and brightness in my caverns, my innermost corners right there. So I will just go ahead and talk you through the whole routine. All right, so I've already moisturized and put on eye cream. I put on a primer as well. I'm trying out this Mally Perfect Prep Neutralizing Primer. Actually really good stuff. I've used it a few times and it's got like kind of a skin tone color to it. It's not attempting to be a foundation at all. It has a really nice smoothness, and I feel like it actually might be evening a few things out when I use that. For foundation, I have been, you know, using my Dream Matte Mousse a lot. I think I talked about that in my favorites video. I really like the finish of that, and especially like the application when I'm using a beauty blender. But I've also just recently come back to my Rimmel Lasting Finish, like one of the longest standing favorite foundations ever that I've ever used. And I wear this in the shade Soft Beige. It says Skin Perfecting Full Coverage Foundation. Really love this stuff. This doesn't make me think full coverage like my Estee Lauder Double Wear Maximum Cover or the Urban Decay All Nighter, but I mean, it is really good coverage, and it's incredibly natural looking on the skin, especially when you use the Beauty Blender. So I've kind of been bouncing back and forth, a little bit with this, a little bit with the Dream Matte Mousse. The one thing I really resent about this foundation is that they took it from being in a squeezy tube a few years back, and now they put it in this glass jar. Why? But it's seriously one of the most affordable foundations you could come up with. Like, I think it's right around $5, $6 maybe. So many drugstore foundations are getting to be like 12, 13, 15 bucks maybe. But sometimes what drives me to, you know, pick up a different foundation is just like, oh, I haven't used that one in a while, or it's the shade happens to be dead on. This shade really is it for me right now. It's really working. And then I'm just taking my Beauty Blender. You could use any blender type sponge. I truly rotate these a lot. So I've got my Real Techniques sponge, I've got just, you know, a couple random ones that you've probably seen me use here or there, and just dab that product right in. And not to bury the lead on this foundation, but the staying power is amazing with it. I have never had complaints about the way this lasts throughout the day. So anyway, using the Beauty Blender, I think just gives it the most natural look on the skin. And then lately I've been pulling for my Anastasia concealer. This is such a creamy concealer, fantastic coverage. It's in the shade 2.5 for me right now. Mentioned in my favorites video how I'll probably be going to a lighter shade very soon in this product, but it is so creamy, and it reminds me of the texture of Benefit Erase Paste, which that's a great product, but that's going to give you that peachy tone corrector type vibe, and that's a much loved product for me, but sometimes I like to experiment, you know, with other things, and this concealer just could go all over the skin for any need, and I personally like to take it right in this zone, because this can be kind of a problem area for me. Like right on top of the cheeks is where I've got a little like remaining discoloration. You'll notice I'm not hitting my cavern right now with this product. That's gonna come. That'll happen. But I love really the way this looks. Once it's all blended in, it just looks so undetectable, like doesn't look makeup-y or dry. And I've got borderline dry feeling skin right now. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of that around my nose. And then right after I've put that on, I've got this Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer, and I have it in the shade L11 Neutral. And it's honestly like pretty light. When I've worn this full on, like all over this area, it just seems too light, and I thought, oh, that's a shame. I still want to keep using it, and now I've kind of realized my purpose. I've got this concealer that's like a total skin tone match that I've used over a large portion of my skin, and then I'll put this in my deepest, darkest area. And there are a couple of reasons why I like to do this. Number one, it's brightening because it is so full coverage and light, but number two, it lasts really well. And along with my lovely little dry skin that I'm dealing with from time to time, I also have had like some, I think, allergy driven eye irritation, and it causes me to, you know, mess with my eyes more, put my finger like right up in here and want to rub a little bit. And I've seen other concealer products that I've used kind of rub away as a result of all the touching, and so maybe I shouldn't do that. But if I can find a product that can still withstand it, I'll go with that. Still love using my Tarte Shape Tape. The shade I have in that is a little deeper than this. It's light medium, and I can really use that in an all over, you know, anywhere I would possibly need it on the skin type of sense. But this is just, for whatever reasons, kind of the routine I've fallen into lately. So anyways, take this, and as you can see, I'm not concerned at all about that Anastasia concealer like setting on me, because it won't. It's so creamy, it's just gonna sit there. And then I've got my little like Real Techniques mini sponge. You could pull in the Beauty Blender, just the regular one again if you wanted to, but I find this just hits my innermost corner a little bit better. And so that's exactly what I'm doing, right on the side of my nose. I bet a lot of this depends on like how deep set are your eyes, you know, what's the contrast created there with your nose as to how deep and dark you get right in that corner. But as I've gotten older, I think I've gotten a little darker there. So there I go. I feel like my eyes are brightened up so much. The whole finish of my skin looks really nice and natural. Now sometimes I might bake my under eye concealer with a loose powder. I bounce around with a lot of different ones. I think the Airspun loose powder is nice when you want to add coverage to it. Or lately, super handy product that I've got here is my little Je ne sais quoi It Cosmetics palette. And there's this really nice, what's it called? The Bye Bye Pores Pressed. It's like a translucent powder. And I just pick some of that up with my e.l.f. small tapered brush and just do a little dabbing right over this area. And then I feel like the Anastasia, this is primarily for the Anastasia because I don't really think I'd even need to set the Kat Von D because it dries down so fully. But I had put a very emollient product there and I can set it and it won't start looking dry on me at all. And then I can just dab that powder, you know, wherever I think I might possibly need it, like on the T-zone. But like I said, oil hasn't been my biggest concern lately, so I'm not gonna do too much powdering. And then do you want to stay with me here? You want to see a little bit more going on? Why not? Let's keep going. Let's keep using this palette. I've got this Sunshine in a Compact down here. This is It Cosmetics, I guess, key bronzer from their line. And I'm just going to dab that around my hairline a bit. It is amazing how a haircut, short hair, changes your perspective on makeup. Like instantly, after getting my haircut, I thought, I feel like I'm seeing my eyes more. I feel like I'm seeing my lips more. Like, what is it about that? It shifts your focus on your face. I don't know. It's maybe your face isn't competing with your hair so much for attention. I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. Maybe when the hair is shorter, it's just bringing the eye up here as opposed to up here and down and up. You know what I mean? No, you probably don't know what I mean because I'm not even sure what I mean by that. I haven't even had a drink of my coffee yet. I picked up a small size of some of that Coffee Mate, what's it called? Hot Cocoa and Marshmallows creamer. Whew, good stuff. That's a creamer where, like, I put that in and I really notice it. I can tell the flavor it's bringing on, and it's good. As far as cheekbones, I'm going to put a teeny bit of this down there. I'm not going to do, like, full-on mega contour. That'll be sufficient. And then I'm going to do the blush that's in here, which is the Bye Bye Pores blush in Je ne sais quoi. Oh, are you catching a glimpse of anything there in the mirror? Yeah, those are my awesome Halloween PJs. Anyway, the blush. I think all of these products are things that you could buy on their own from It Cosmetics, which is cool. The only thing I already had from this little palette was the bronzer. Oh, do I feel fresh as a daisy or what with this blush on? That's an interesting color because I don't know that a lot of people might even choose that shade for themselves, you know, like seeing the brightness of the pink, but that can be one of the freshest colors on absolutely anybody because it's just so, like, it just gives life. It gives youthfulness. And then, you know it, we're going 4 for 4 in here. We're using the highlight. This highlight, as you can see, it's side by side with like a purely white powder up there, but this is not a dark highlight by any means. It's kind of just a soft champagne, maybe a hint of peach in this highlight, but it's called the Perfect Lighting Luminizer in Je ne sais quoi. And I'm picking up some of that with the trusty Up and Up highlight brush. Whoa! Well, I got just a bit of highlight there, didn't I? Seems like something Mrs. Potts would say on Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, we've been watching some Beauty and the Beast lately. It's now available on Apple TV. Belle enjoys that. She will repeat certain lines that she hears in it, but the one I'm really working with her on is where Mrs. Potts says, "Off to the cupboard now with you, Chip." I really want to hear her say that. In that accent. Okay, gonna do a little bit here. After that, I'm using like the remaining little bit of my Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer Mist. 3 sprays will do it perfectly. And that is my face makeup. So here is the finished face. I'll let you know what I put on my eyes and lips. I used my Jordana powder eyeshadow in the shade Plum Believable. You're plum believable. I have several of these palettes, and I think I want to do a review on them because there are certain things I really like about them and then a couple key things that I don't. So I kind of want to sort that all out in its own video. I used like the darkest shades, the black and the plum or burgundy. It's kind of like a dark burgundy on the outer corner. I really tried with this shade on my lid and I got so much fallout. Like I look like, if you look at me really close up, it's as if I've applied a glittery highlight to my cheekbones from all the fallout I got from that shade. So boo. On my lips, I just wanted to go bright. So I reached for one of my Too Faced Le Matte lipsticks. I think that's what they're called, Le Matte. And this is in the shade called Pitch Perfect. So it's kind of like a, I don't know, a bright pink, but with a little bit of purpley orchid mixed in. So that is all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all the sweet feedback on the hair that you've given me already on Instagram and stuff. That was really, really nice. I really appreciate all the time you take out of your day with me. It means so much, and I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye.